there, YTPC. Peddler Piper coming at you from the cold, snowy, sleety, foggy roads of Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. First thing I want to say is Happy Cobb Tuesday and Happy Cobb New Year. I know I'm a week late, but last Tuesday, me and Mrs. Peddler just spent the day lazing around the house, watching movies, enjoying a nice quiet New Year's Day. So, Happy Cobb New Year. For my stock check today, I am smoking, yes, you guessed it, my Cobb. And in it, I have Velvet. If any of you watch The Artful Codger, you know he is a big proponent of Velvet. And it's beginning to spread throughout the YTPC. I want to say spread like a virus, but it's too damn good to call it a virus. You know, I don't give tobacco reviews or anything like that. But I was in the local tobacco shop, which is not a pipe shop by any means. It is a cigar and roll your own shop with about 4 or 5 OTC blends for pipe tobacco, and that is it. No pipes, no pipe accoutrements, except pipe cleaners. So, I was in there. I was picking up some roll your own tobacco for Mrs. Peddler, and I saw they had pouches of Velvet. Couldn't resist. I've heard too much about it. Wanted to find out what the hubbub was about it. And it's interesting when I was just loading this pipe up, I actually really took notice. The bag note, the pouch note, reminded me so much of oatmeal raisin cookies. Yes, I know, John David from Country Squire, I said raisin. Don't persecute me for it. But that's exactly what it reminded me of. Oatmeal raisin cookies. It's a very smooth smoke. I enjoy it. I don't know if you would, but I enjoy it. And to top it off, it's an inexpensive tobacco. I got a pouch of Velvet. Like I said, it was a roll your own shop, so it wasn't online or anything like that. I got the pouch for under $5. You can't buy Captain Black for that. Captain Black around here for a pouch is like $7-8. And it's very good. I've smoked it I'm probably gonna say I had 5 or 6 bowls of it at least, and I didn't get bit once. It's a very smooth smoker, so if you're inclined, I'd say try it. So, 2019. Can't believe it's 2019 already. Seems like just yesterday I was still in high school. Seems like just yesterday I met my wife. Seems like it was just yesterday evening that I got married. I'm 47 years old. I'll be 48 this year in August. And I can honestly say I understand now where the term over the hill comes from. Because once you get to a certain point and you start going down that other side, time just keeps picking up speed. Just keeps picking up speed. And I mean, it's already January 8th. We're already 8 days into the new year. It's just crazy. So, I don't know if any of you caught. I'm sure you did, unless you were living under a rock. You caught Mel, the garbage man Piper Harris, had his GAW on Thursday. And that was an extravaganza. I have to say, that was an extravaganza. I think at one point, I know at one point he had over 100 people viewing. And within I'm going to say like the first 20 minutes, he had given away the prizes. And then we just chatted for another 2 hours plus. And that whole time, I think at the very end, there were still double-digit viewers. But he's just an amazing guy. You know, it shouldn't surprise me at all. I have never seen someone or met someone more generous than Mel. Like I said, if you don't know about Mel Harris, you're living under a rock. You need to crawl out from under that rock and go check him out. He's entertaining. He's very personable. Like I said, he's super generous. He's just a great guy. And I don't just say that because he gives stuff away. He is generous because he's getting just as much, if not more, out of giving the stuff away to people that are going to appreciate it as the person that is getting the stuff. He enjoys it. He gets a thrill out of it. He enjoys when he sends something to somebody, and in the YTPC, and they get it, and they do a Yabo and do a video on it, you know, a Yabo showing opening up and showing everything that they're getting from him. from what I gather, it just fills him with joy. And that makes him an amazing person. Not just that. He's funny. He's personable. If being a great guy was illegal, Mel would be serving a life sentence. They would have to lock him up and throw away the key. But fortunately, being a great guy is not illegal. It's encouraged. So it's like I said at the beginning, it's a pretty crappy day here in Schuylkill County. We got sleet and snow overnight. So when I woke up this morning, looked out the window, there's no way I was going out first thing in the morning. Driving on the roads. I have plenty of confidence in my ability to drive in terrible weather. Plenty of confidence and plenty of experience in it. But as I've grown older, the confidence I have in my ability is outweighed by the lack of confidence I have in the other guy's ability. There are way too many 4x4 hero knuckleheads out there, and people with expensive four-wheel drive vehicles that have no clue. They think they got four-wheel drive. It doesn't matter what the roads are like. They can just hit that button, four-wheel drive, and they can drive like normal. That is certainly not the case. Not by far. So, if it's crappy out, if I look out and I live on a corner, and the corner of a major street, it's not a highway, but it's a major street coming into my town, which is actually a state road, so it gets maintained by the state, not by the borough. If I look out and I see that is still really crappy, that's an exact indication of the way the rest of the roads are in the county. In my area. Because we live on the top of a mountain. For those of you that aren't familiar with Schuylkill County, which like 99.9% of you are not familiar. Schuylkill County is basically divided into two regions. North of the mountain and south of the mountain. And where I live, we are right on the edge of the top of the mountain. Within 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, I can leave the town I live in. We go down the highway, which is a grade, go down there, be in the next town, and it's like you're in another world. We can get 3, 4, 5 inches of snow in my town. I can drive down that grade to the next town, and they'll be having rain. They'll have rain. Now, when I say north and south of the mountain in Schuylkill County, that it also is a connotation of a bit of a division in cultures. People that are south of the mountain look down on the people north of the mountain, vice versa. It's, you know, it's a whole thing. But anyway, so that's why I'm recording this after my lunch. I sat my butt at home all morning, ate lunch, and now I'm out. Roads are just wet, but it is foggy. I just pulled over because I'm almost at my first customer of the day, so I can finish talking with you fine people. And I'm looking down the road. I can see the next telephone pole, which is, I'm going to say 500 feet away. And beyond that, it is just hazy white. Can't see anything. That's another one of the perks of living on top of a mountain. You're in the clouds. So I'm enjoying my last week off from school. Beginning next Monday, I go back to school. It's going to be my last term. Get all my classes in this term, and I'll be graduating in May. And then the real fun begins. Well, it's already begun. I've already started putting some feelers out, trying to get a job lined up. Once I have that degree in hand. Had a little bit of interest, but I'm still working on it. I have no doubt that I will find a place somewhere. Don't get me wrong, I love where I work right now. It's a fantastic company. The problem is, I have no, I can't make any vertical movement in my career. I'm the outside salesman for my store. And there is very slim to no chance of me ever moving up further in my store, just because of things that are already in place. And it goes the same for other sister stores that we have. Because obviously the next step would be management, and all the sister stores as well as my store have, you know, firmly entrenched managers, which says a lot about the company. You know, the manager of our one sister store, he's been at that store for probably 20 years or more. Easily more than 20 years. The manager of my store has been the manager for over 10 years. And when he retires in a few years, the assistant manager of my store has been there for 7-8 years, and he's happy where he's at. He's the next in line, so it's a great company, but there's just no room for me here. And I didn't spend all the money and go to all the schooling to be in the same position I was when I started all the school. Plus, Mrs. Peddler hates the cold. The older I get, I'm not liking the cold as much anymore. We'd like to get someplace a little warmer. Ideally, we've looked at the Mid-Atlantic region, like South Carolina. But it's going to depend on a lot of factors. All right, well, we're over 20 minutes now, guys. So, and gals, I'm sorry. So I'm going to let you go. I got to get some work done. So, happy Cobb Tuesday. Happy Cobb New Year. And you have a great day. And have a better one tomorrow.